Well, the match is not just the second semi-final, but is also the last match of the tournament that will take place in Pakistan. And like we just told you, for more, we are now going to go over to WION's Vidur Katuria and Nikhil Mathur, who are also joined by Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik. They'll give us all the details of what is unfolding at the Gaddafi Stadium.
Well, thank you very much, Isha, for those updates. It is time for the second semi-final between South Africa in New Zealand in Lahore. I'm Vidur Katuria, and along with my colleague Nikhil Mathur and our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik, we will get you all those details right outside from the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. This will also determine who India will face in that big title clash on Sunday. Well, Nikhil, this is not just that, as Isha mentioned, it is also the final match in Pakistan. Bit of a dampener for those Pakistan cricket fans because this is a big tournament and the final is not taking place in Pakistan.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for the Pakistani fan that their team has also not qualified for the knockout rounds. Had Pakistan been in the final or in the semi-final, they would have been able to see their team play on a big occasion. But right now, New Zealand have won the toss and they've elected to bat first. The sun is shining in Lahore, so no chance of a washout. But the stands are still pretty empty, so it's a bit of a dampener because Pakistan fans wanted their team to be in the semi-final, but that has not been the condition. But it's still a big occasion for Pakistan. They are hosting an ICC tournament for the first time in 29 years, and this match sort of culminates that tournament.
Well, absolutely. And as you mentioned, the final will take place in Dubai. Now, interestingly, South Africa are traveling to Lahore from Dubai because there was a chance that they faced India in the semi-final. But of course, so they traveled to Dubai and then came back to Lahore. So in a matter of about less than 48 hours, they've taken 2 flights. So do you think that that will hand a slight advantage to New Zealand given the amount of travel that South Africa have done over the last 48 hours?
I think so, but none of the teams are complaining about the travel. They are saying that we are here to play good cricket, and in the end, the cricket matters. But on paper, both teams are pretty equally matched. So, you know, the best team will win today. And I think South Africa has a slight edge just because they have the X-Factor players, Heinrich Klaassen, David Miller. They can provide the X-Factor. New Zealand are also a very well-settled side. So we have a good matchup on our cards.
Well, Nikhil, now we go over to our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik, who is in Lahore. Anas, what is the mood like with the Pakistan fans? Do we expect to see a good turnout for the South Africa-New Zealand clash in Lahore?
Certainly so. I think it's a bright sunny day, it's a shiny day, it's quite windy here in Lahore, so you rightly mentioned there's no chance of a washout. Fans are still popping in, and we expect the ground to be full by the evening because it's a working day here in the provincial capital of Lahore. The Gaddafi Stadium is all set. What you see behind me, beyond this entrance, this road leads to the Gaddafi Stadium itself. Only people with special passes, cars with special passes that have been provided by the ICC, only then they can go through, and security measures are already beefed up. Of course, it's a sad situation for Pakistan cricket team fans, largely speaking, because 29 years later, they had to wait 29 years for an event of this magnitude to come to the country. That is number one. And number two, for that, their team not playing in the tournament itself, it is indeed a sad situation. This also means that Pakistan get to lose their title of defending champions of the Champions Trophy 8 years later. So I think that's quite of a dampener on that part as well. But with regards to the fan situation, it's almost a full house, or it is a sellout. It won't be wrong to say. It will take some time for people to show up. As I said, it's a working day here.
Anas, Nikhil here. I just want you to sum up for our viewers, how has this tournament been for Pakistan? You know, there were question marks over the security. Fortunately, there have been no hiccups in the security. Pakistan spent around 8 billion Pakistani rupees to renovate the stadium. There were reports that, you know, the roof of Gaddafi Stadium was leaking. But overall, it has been a smooth tournament. So how do you sum this up?
Well, I think, as I said, the people of Pakistan had to wait quite anxiously for this day, for this moment to be able to see not just their team play, their own team play, but to see international teams come here and play for an international tournament, for an ICC tournament. So the excitement has been quite palpable. Of course, as I said, the bummer has been at large the fact that the Pakistani cricket team did not qualify for the tournament itself going forward. The security situation you rightly mentioned, even here, even now, I'll just get aside for the benefit of our viewers and just give you a sense of understanding with regards to the security situation. You see, there are heightened security measures that are here. Cars are not permitted through. Even those which have these passes, they're made to thoroughly being checked. There's a proper deployment of security personnel, and that's layered out. First is the Punjab police, then comes in the paramilitary rangers, and then comes in the military as well for the deployment for this very security itself. Fans have been coming in, and as I said, for the people of Pakistan, witnessing this tournament here, I'm standing at the iconic Liberty roundabout. This is the same place, just across is the same place where in 2009, on the 3rd of March, is where the Sri Lankan team came under attack. So security has been some sort of that rider that the Pakistani side had been emphasizing on, and fortunately enough, they've delivered without any hiccups, and rather with no hiccups, and in fact with a good turnout of the crowd's involvement as well.
Thank you, Anas, for those updates right outside the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. Now, Nikhil, I'd like to come to you for a bit of a cricketing update. What do you expect to see from this match? Obviously for the Pakistan fans who are neutral fans will turn up. Do they expect to see a top cricketing contest between two top quality teams who could reach another final against India?
Yeah, I think it's a top quality deck. The pitch is a true pitch. That means if you play the shots, you get value for money. So I think the fans are going to be entertained. I think it's going to be a high scoring match, because the top 4 highest scores in this tournament have been made on this. And New Zealand are a great side. They are the most economical side as well. And South Africa backs a lot of power hitters. So I think it's going to be a good contest between the bowling attack of New Zealand and the power hitters of South Africa. And again, both of these teams have done well in ICC tournaments, but they have not been able to get their hands on ICC trophies. I think the only white ball tournament these teams have won is the Champions Trophy itself. And South Africa, a couple of years ago, were dubbed the chokers. I think they kind of shed their tag in the 2023 ODI World Cup. But as I said, these nations have done well, but that trophy eludes
I think
them.
The idiom of always the bridesmaid but never the bride is appropriate for these two teams who have, as Nikhil mentioned, done very well consistently throughout ICC tournaments. But interestingly, the last ICC tournament that both South Africa and New Zealand won was the ICC Champions Trophy, which was not known as the Champions Trophy back then. It was known as the ICC Knockout. But it's been over 25 years. Both these teams have not won an ICC trophy. We just have the South Africa 11 in front of you here. Ryan Rickerton, Temba Bavuma, the captain. Rassie van der Dussen always contributes big with the runs. Heinrich Klaassen, Nikhil, I want you to talk about him. He can be the real X factor for South Africa.
I think that's what we have been emphasizing. Both lineups are pretty settled. Players have scored runs, but the X factor that we talk about, the players that can change the match within 2 or 3 overs, are Heinrich Klaassen, big hitter, and David Miller. And also South Africa have reached a lot of finals. They lost to India in the T20 World Cup, then in the women's as well, and then in the under-19 as well. So they have always been in the finals, in the semi-finals, but never making it to the trophy or lifting the trophy. But again, a good side with a lot of power hitters and good bowling. So I think it's going to be a good matchup.
Well, thank you, Nikhil, for those insights on Team South Africa. We will, of course, continue the build-up to this big semi-final on our social media platforms. But for our broadcast viewers, it's back to you, Isha.
Thank you so much, Nikhil and Vidur, for those updates. Of course, it is the all-elusive ICC trophy that both the teams are vying and aiming to achieve. And as Anas was also telling us, how amid security, Pakistan is back to hosting ICC events in the country.